All right. MQA versus a lossless music or FLAC files or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. It's been fun reading up and reading the opinions on the different formats and on what people perceive and how people justify their preferences. My preference is not in the format, and in fact, Tidal have recently announced that they're going to be offering FLAC in their Hi-Fi Plus streaming platform. And good on them, I think I'm not going to go into the controversy around that, but what I want to talk about is my experience with these different formats and the accessibility of those formats. And for me, the accessibility, the usability of Tidal as it is at the moment is next level. So yeah, I've had a wee play and a wee listen and tried to compare tracks, and I sort of went down that rabbit hole and came out of it thinking, well, what is more convenient for me? And the way Tidal can be used, or the way I'm using it, is absolutely such a convenient tool. So I get in at the end of the day, and all I do is reach into the Tidal app, play a track, and select it to go through Tidal Connect through to the wee blue sound over there. So that's what's ultimately streaming the music. So basically, my phone becomes a remote control. And I use the Tidal app, so I'm not one for now. I've got multiple apps on my phone, and the only reason why I have them is so that I can share music with other people. So I've got a cheap version of Spotify, and I use that to send music to people in my life who use that. I have Apple Music because that's where my library originated from, and that's my reference. I flick through there to decide what it is that I want to listen to, and I use that to make a choice, and then typically I will use Tidal to actually play that track. Or I might dip into Qobuz and see what they have to offer, whether they have anything, whether they have a lossless format that I might prefer. But being able to do that, so being able to use Tidal Connect and to just simply walk in and play something and know that I'm getting reasonably the best quality or at least the better quality music straight off the bat without having to think too hard or without having to fiddle and play is a really cool thing. Also, it would appear at the moment that Tidal and Apple Music as well. Apple Music has a tremendous amount of music that is available in their lossless format. And one of these days, they're actually going to get their lossless format to work more universally than it is at the moment. I think that with the advent of, so the most recent Bluetooth will allow you to stream high-res music over Bluetooth. And of course, Apple hasn't got that far yet. They haven't caught up. Which is hilarious because you can buy a really expensive pair of Bluetooth earphones, AirPods or whatever it is, and of course you're not getting that advantage. It's not on an iOS device anyway. I'm sure they'll catch up, and I'm sure we'll see that happening. And when they do, that'll be a big thing. It's a big market. Apple market is a big market. I don't think we've seen the last of Apple Music. I think they will catch up, and they will have a lot to offer when they do. For the time being, for me, it's with Tidal, the accessibility, the ease of use, and being able to do that. The MQA thing, currently I'm operating a DAC that is not MQA compatible, so I'm not taking advantage of the second set of unpacking, if that's the most coherent way of describing it. But nonetheless, I still get to take advantage of some of that high res. I think most of what most of what the DAC ends up receiving is 24-bit and somewhere in the range of 80 to 90 kilohertz sample rate. So it's not to be sneezed at, and it certainly has changed my world. Listening to tracks that I love and know well, and really hearing them come into the room. One of my reference tracks is, and I can't believe I can't remember the name, but it's the first track on Air's Moon Safari, and the very beginning of that track has a river running through it, and I think it's frogs chirping in the background, and to hear that, to turn you back around again, to hear that river coming through here towards me with the frogs chirping around is quite a remarkable thing, and it's something that I've never heard on vinyl or on CD. For it to really be that real and to transport me into another place is so cool. So it's a wonderful new journey. It's great to have that accessibility, not to have to search for tracks on curious platforms to try and find the highest res, to have it immediately available, and to really enjoy it and take that advantage is a really cool thing.